Hey garden maters, welcome back into the Corner Homestead Kitchen. So today I'm going to be making some dandelion jelly, also known as poor man's honey. I've never made this before, have seen other people make it. Looks good, so I thought we will try it. So I thought I'd bring you along so you could hopefully maybe be inspired to try it as well. Let's get cooking. Okay, so I have, this is 4 cups of dandelion flowers. You want just the flowers. The green part is okay. Even though they say that makes it bitter, it's still okay for this. And I have them soaking here in water, and I've added a couple tablespoons of just plain old white vinegar. And we're going to let this soak for about 10 minutes because you will find ants and everything else in these flowers. Because they're sweet, they attract bees and ants. So you want to soak them until they're good and clean and everything in them is pretty much died off, all the ants. And then we'll drain them. Okay, so in this saucepan I've got, I put in 2.5 cups of dandelion. You just want the tops. Rinse them very well. So I've put them in a pot, and I've got 1 sliced lemon in there. Now I'm going to add 1 sliced orange. Could be a little too much, but 2.5 cups of water for 2.5 cups of dandelion flowers. So we're going to cook this till it comes to a boil. And we wait. I gave it a little push on the lemons and the oranges slices just to make sure that everything was well beat up in there a little bit to the flavor. And that's what's left of our little flowers. So this is it. I'm going to put the lid back on. When it cools down a little bit on its own, then I'll put it in the refrigerator overnight. And we'll get it out tomorrow and continue to finish it up. But for now, it just sits for at least 24 hours. In the second batch, and this is what it looks like after it's been all strained. I know it's hard to see the golden color because it's so cloudy today, but I will put it up on. So I added another 4 cups of dandelion flowers. So I have here a total of 8 cups of the dandelion tea, if you want to call it. Been sitting in the refrigerator for 24 hours. Just got done straining everything. Got it in here. And now I'm going to wait for it to come to a boil. To this pot that was boiling, I just added 8 cups of sugar. I know it seems like a lot of sugar, and it is, but I had 8 cups of dandelion tea, so you added 8 cups of sugar. So now I'm going to let it boil, come back to a boil, and we're going to simmer this for about 2 to 3 hours. So it's definitely getting thicker. You want to put it on a plate and get it cooled down, and then you swirl it. It's just about there. So it's been just about 3 hours now. You can see it has reduced down almost by half. And when you stir it, it's beautiful in color. It looks reddish in here in the pot, but once it's out, it will look more golden yellow. So I did the swirl test, and I think we are just about ready to bottle it up, or jar it up. I want you to see the gorgeous color of this. Beautiful. So I wasn't going to get out my great big canning pot just to do these little jars. So I just have them in a regular pot here. And it can be done as long as you put a towel in there or something so they don't clang around when they're boiling. So these are, I can only fit 5 in here, but I have more to do. So we're going to bring this back to a boil, and then we're going to process it for 10 minutes. Okay, round 2 is in. 10 more minutes on the clock after it comes up to boil. Okay, so while I'm waiting for this to process, the second batch, I want to show you. It looks very thin right now. This is what was left over, and yes, it does look thin, but you can see how it just coats the spoon very well. As it cools, it will get much thicker. If you want it to be even thicker, then you just let it cook a little longer, or you can opt not to cook it as long and just use pectin and turn it into a jelly instead. But when this cools, it will be just fine. And I'll show that to you tomorrow. When this is fully cool and set, we'll see how thick it is. So I used these half-pint little jelly jars from Kerr. And I got 10 of these processed. 5 are on the table, and the other 5 are in the processor now. So 10 jars, plus this here leftover, which I'm guessing is a good half a cup, 3/4 cup. I could have easily done another jar, but I wanted to just leave this out because I know it's going to go fast. But yes, 10 of these. Not too shabby for 8 cups of dandelion petals. So there we go, putting them to rest for the night under a towel so they don't cool down too fast. And we'll see them in the morning. So here we go, guys. This is the finished product. So golden color. Look at that beautiful color. So it looks like this. Yes, it looks runny in the jar, but it's not. This is the one I had in the fridge. It's just absolutely beautiful. You just want to watch it flow. It's just gorgeous. Just wonderful. So that's it. That's all there is to making the beautiful dandelion jelly. After tasting this, I have definitely decided that it's going to be a staple on my pantry shelf every year. It is definitely that good. One thing I want to remind you is to put this into the refrigerator before you even open it. As you may be able to see, let me get closer, it is a watery type texture. When you put it into the refrigerator and you get it very cold, you're going to get the more pourable honey type texture that we all know and love. So yes, it looks watery in the jar. It still coats the spoon very well if you were to use it as this texture. But getting it extremely cold in the refrigerator first is going to be so much better in the long run. Plus, it'll extend the life of it as well. So I hope I have encouraged you to try this poor man's honey. One other thing is, if you don't want to put as much sugar into it, you don't really have to. It's all up to your own taste. Probably the next time I make it, I will back off on the sugar just a little bit because it's like honey. It's extremely sweet. I used a half a teaspoon of this last night in a cup of hot tea. It was delicious. But if you're trying to cut down on sugar by any means, you do not have to put as much into it as I did. You could, next time I'm thinking maybe 8 cups of dandelion flowers to 6 cups of sugar. I think that would probably be personal for my taste. But again, it's up to you, and I hope I've encouraged you to make this. It was a pleasure to have you here in my kitchen today, making this beautiful golden honey. And I hope to see you again soon. And until next time, I love you. Take care. God bless. And I'll see you on the next video.